Hello everyone, my name is Nicholas Youngblood. This is my Module 17 Project 5 case study about Truman Elementary School for AAP 858 BB. Category 1, Problem Identification and Analysis. What I know about the problem. I know that standardized test scores provide evidence of lack of success in reading compared to math. I also know that students lose ground as a cohort when transitioning from school to school, and they're also losing ground from grade to grade. I also know that the parents in the school are upset about the reading scores, and the PTO plans to have the principal address these scores at the next meeting. Fourth thing I know is that the district reading supervisor did an assessment of the issues in our reading program, provided us some information on how to improve our program. We have several areas in need of improvement. I also know that the State Department of Education will be awarding grants that will help us to address our reading issues. What I need to know as far as problem identification and analysis, I need to know our demographic information related to our test scores. Who are the kids who are not succeeding? What I need to know, why are our teachers not using current research-based methods when implementing instruction? There's several issues with the instruction in the day-to-day classroom. I also need to know, where's our diagnostic information for students? Are students just randomly placed in classes? We need to have some diagnostic tool that gets the students in the appropriate classes. Why aren't teachers individualizing instruction? There was a complaint from the PTO that we're just giving books and kids aren't reading up to their level, and there's no separation, there's no individualized instruction. The main problem here is our reading scores are lacking in comparison to math on standardized and national achievement tests. And stakeholders are upset with this, and rightfully so. So we need to make some changes. Plan of action. Category 2, proposed plan of action with appropriate strategies of implementation. My plan of action, the first thing I would like to see, obviously, the end result is to increase the reading scores by securing the grant. If a grant is secured, provide a comprehensive professional development program with a reading focus. We want to provide opportunities for training in the summer as well, because this is a serious issue that needs to be acted on immediately. The first thing we'd have to do is we'd apply for the grant. We'd report this to the PTO. Transparency is huge with the PTO. They're upset. We need to make sure all stakeholders are in the loop. The second step we need to do is to analyze what other districts are doing to support the reading initiatives. This is only my second year at Truman. We did some other things at my last school that showed some success, so maybe implement some of those, and also just seeing what high-achieving schools are doing. We want to research some leading experts in the field in the hopes of bringing them in for a district in-service as well. Once again, we're going to report all this to the PTO. The third thing we could do is create a staff reading team. This team will analyze data to find out which demographics are struggling. That way we can start to close the achievement gaps. Once we identify, we'll meet with the reading team to develop a plan of action. I'd like to create an assessment calendar to provide a framework for meeting topics and dates, and allow volunteers in the classroom to assist with curriculum implementation, and of course report this to the PTO as well. Step 4 would be develop a comprehensive professional development plan for the following school year, with or without the grant funding. We need to find some sort of funding if we don't get the grant, but these issues need to be addressed immediately. And once again, we'll report this plan to the PTO. Category 3, resolve issues based on promoting the success of all students. What's best for the students? The students deserve to be educated using current evidence-based instructional techniques, and it's our responsibility to provide an education. We haven't been providing them quality education in regards to reading, it seems. Category 3, resolve issues based on promoting success of all students. Once again, the resolution of the problem. I would say to develop a data team that's focused on reading, to identify shortcomings and celebrate successes. Use demographics data to identify areas of weakness. When utilizing a team to create a collaboratively developed action plan for reading staff based on recommendations from the district reading supervisor that came in and did an assessment or a second opinion. If we form teams and work at this collaboratively, we have a higher chance of success. Category 4, debriefing the problem. What I was thinking during this, as a district, we must learn to work together, but ultimately improve our scores. We must meet collaboratively, develop learning targets that focus on continuous learning. If we do secure the grant, we must provide summer training opportunities and district-wide in-services that address our reading shortcomings. What I was feeling, I felt honestly like we're failing the students and parents, and we must do a better job. We need to stay current and focus on research-based best practices to close those achievement gaps. It's really on us. We can't fail the kids. That's our business, and we need to do a good job of it. What I was valuing, the opinions of the stakeholders. When the parents are upset about it and they're speaking out about it, it's not good PR for the school. And it's really, we're failing at our jobs. So the data identified the issues, and also the recommendations of the district reading supervisor will be particularly helpful in closing these achievement gaps. We really need to focus on those and get us to where we need to get going. Unresolved issues for Category 4, debriefing the problem. Acquiring the grant funding with only 15% free and reduced lunch. This could be an issue because a lot of the grant was focused on high poverty areas. How do we provide evidence of growth? According to the case study, this was done in March, so we have a couple months of school left. How can we show that we're doing things and taking initiatives throughout the rest of this school year into the next school year? And lastly, the PTO's disposition regarding how Truman teaches reading. Like I said, it's horrible for the climate of the school and for the public relations of a school. So those are our main unresolved issues. For Category 5, I acted as an agent of continuous improvement by doing several things. First thing I did, I reported the new initiatives of the school district directly to the PTO. I applied for the grant, and then I also sought out a second opinion by getting an assessment from the district reading coordinator, which was particularly helpful. Another way I acted as an agent for continuous improvements, I created a reading data team. I created a collaborative team that focused on data to identify gaps in hopes of improvement of continuous learning. I also utilize an assessment calendar that provides a connection to the staff's daily work. Everybody hopefully will be on board. Everybody will have that time marked out already into their calendar for team meetings and such. But this is particularly important, that we connect our day-to-day duties with what we're trying to achieve. We can't take our eye off the prize, and the prize is to improve student learning and improve standardized test scores and close the achievement gap. The third thing I did to act as an agent for continuous improvement is I implemented a strong focus on demographics. We need to know who's falling through the cracks and what subgroups are not succeeding in order so we can focus on those to move those ahead, but not only focus on the kids who are achieving to provide individualized instruction to get those kids to take the next step. The last thing I did for the fourth thing is increase transparency between the initiative and PTO. PTO needs to be in the loop. They can't assume we're not doing things or we are doing things. It needs to be completely transparent, so we're all in this together mentality. It literally takes a village. In particular with reading, a lot can be done at home to improve reading scores. I acted as an agent for continuous improvement, and once again for Category 5, providing financial resources for trainings and professional development. If we don't secure the funding from the grant, we do have to find another avenue to get money to provide meaningful educational coursework for our staff to improve these scores. I also acted as an agent of continuous improvement by creating a collaborative environment. It takes the entire building, not just the reading department, but the entire building to have a strong focus on reading to improve reading scores across curriculum. And then lastly, I analyzed data to find and close gaps, paying particularly attention to demographic data. So some of the tools that we learned in this course would be particularly helpful, such as pivot tables and those items, to identify areas of weakness in hopes of improving and having a focus on continuous learning. I acted as an agent for continuous improvement by working with the district coordinator to rectify the inadequacies of our reading program. We brought in a second opinion. It can't be done alone, and it's good to have another set of eyes in there to give us a focus on what really needs to be accomplished. And then I wrote the grant, or having the grant written in hopes of securing the additional funding. If we don't get it, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, we want to get it, but we do have to find other avenues in case we do not get the grant, because there has to be a strong focus on improving these scores and keeping everyone content with the job that we're doing at Truman Elementary. I acted as an agent for continuous improvement by providing reading volunteer opportunities and maintaining open dialogue with PTO. Like I said, a lot of reading work can be done at home, and if you allow stakeholders to come in and read to the students or do some other activities with the students in hopes of closing the achievement gap, I think it can be helpful. And plus, they'll be in the classroom and know exactly what you're doing on a regular basis, and we can be in this together. So that's my presentation over this assignment. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.